Discover the amazing moment I exposed my cheating husband. Firefighters were finally revealed. In the heart of Maplewood, the sun set in hues of orange and pink, casting a glow over the perfectly manicured lawns. Anna's laughter rang through the air as she served another plate of homemade lasagna to the firefighters, her heroes after their grueling shifts, but inside, her heart was about to tear apart. Those walls of their cozy home, once filled with the sounds of children's laughter and love, now pulsed with secrets that threatened to drown her. It wasn't just any betrayal, it was Jake's, her husband of 15 years. A man she thought she knew inside out, the one who promised forever. That morning, Anna thought of nothing but the shared joy in her community, the smiles from the kids at the school where she volunteered and the grateful faces of firefighters relishing her meals. But that day, she stumbled upon a text so wretched it knocked the wind from her chest. "Meet me," it read, "after your shift." It was from another woman. A wave of disbelief washed over her, followed by a surge of anger that tinged her vision red. It felt as if everything she believed in, love, trust, family, began to fracture like glass. In a fury, she confronted Jake. The cozy living room, adorned with family photos and framed memories, transformed into an arena of shouts and accusations. Every word exchanged pierced the air like daggers, echoing through their home a symphony of shattered dreams. Neighbors stopped and stared, feeling the tremor in the ground beneath them. And just like that, the veneer of Maplewood's perfect life started to crack. The whispers of Mrs. Thompson from next door about her husband's late nights, the distant grumbles of Mr. Harris struggling with his job, everyone dealt with something beneath that serene facade. Anna's storm laid bare the fractures in their seemingly sweet suburb. As she grappled with her pain, a flicker of determination ignited within her. Anna resolved to host a community event to honor the firefighters, a gathering of support to reclaim her sense of purpose. She boldly began to sell the idea to friends, inviting them to celebrate. The excitement brewed, a sugary covering over her heartache. As she printed the invites, she felt the warmth of the town embracing her. "Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. Days turned into a blur of plans and distractions until the event loomed closer. Just as Anna felt ready to unveil her truth and inspire healing during a gathering meant to elevate bravery, a shocking picture surfaced online, a photograph of Jake, arms wrapped around the founder of the charity he had dragged their family into, looking all too cozy. The connections tangled deeper than she imagined. With her heart pounding like a drum, Anna stood on the edge of revealing her husband's hypocrisy to an audience that would never guess the truth beneath her smile. Clutching her phone, a text vibrated in her pocket. Could it be Jake, finally ready to confess the truth? The moment hung thick with tension. Would she expose everything now, or find it in herself to forgive? The phone buzzed again, a soft yet insistent reminder of the turmoil brewing inside her. Anna gripped it tightly, her nails digging into the case as she weighed the options before her. Would her truth free her or shatter her world even more? She could hear laughter from the kitchen, a few firefighters still sharing jovial tales over the remnants of dinner. The warmth of their camaraderie was both comforting and suffocating, a stark contrast to the chaos flooding her mind. Taking a deep breath, Anna stepped outside. The cool evening air wrapped around her like a blanket, fresh and invigorating. It offered a moment of clarity amid the whirlwind of emotions. She looked up at the sky, the twinkling stars whispering promises of hope. In that moment, she questioned everything. Was forgiveness something she could extend to Jake, or was the betrayal too deep, leaving scars that would never heal? The community event was starting tomorrow, and Anna felt every ounce of pressure resting on her shoulders. She wanted to look strong, to show her friends and neighbors that she could rise above the pain. Yet the photograph floated through her mind, its implications haranguing her thoughts. If she didn't do something soon, would Jake continue to weave his web of deceit in their hometown, lying beneath the guise of a devoted husband? She resolved then, with the stillness of twilight surrounding her, that the event would not only honor the firefighters but also serve as her own declaration. She would not remain hidden in the shadows of Jake's lies. She would shine her light. The next day arrived, draped in the warmth of anticipation. As people trickled into the community center, Anna focused on the bright energy of the crowd. She smiled, mingling and making small talk, even while her heart raced. Every laugh felt like a reminder of what she was losing, yet she also felt emboldened by the presence of those who cared. As the program unfolded, the firefighters took their turns at the podium, sharing stories of bravery and sacrifice. Each tale resonated deep within Anna, stirring emotions she had buried. They spoke of challenges that felt insurmountable and yet overcame them with unity and support. They reminded her that sometimes, true strength means facing the hardest truths. Finally, it was her turn to speak. With the microphone in hand, Anna's hands trembled slightly. She looked out at the faces illuminated by kindness and encouragement. "Thank you for being here," she began, her voice steady despite the storm inside. "This is a celebration of our community, but it's also about facing our personal fires." Her heart raced. The gravity of her words felt monumental, and just as she was about to delve into her own truth, a voice rang out from the back of the room. "Anna, wait. You need to hear this first." All eyes turned. It was Jake, stepping into the spotlight, his face pale, but his determination palpable. The air thickened with tension, and Anna held her breath. What could he possibly reveal now? Would he justify his betrayal, or was this a sincere attempt to come clean? She felt her heart pound even louder against her ribs, the burning need to know clawing at her insides. Would this revelation change everything? Jake took a hesitant step into the spotlight, his eyes darting around the room, searching faces like he was looking for a lifeline. The murmur of the crowd faded into a low hum, a collective breath held in anticipation. Anna's heart thudded hard, and she could feel the heat rising in her cheeks. Was this a moment of redemption or another layer of betrayal? Jake's voice trembled, cracking slightly. "I know I don't deserve your forgiveness, and I don't expect you to understand, but you have to hear me out." He swallowed hard, seeming to muster courage out of thin air. "I made a terrible mistake, and I've been living with the regret of it every single day." He paused, as if steeling himself for the next part. The crowd was still, tense like a drawn bowstring. Anna clenched her fists, the weight of Jake's presence pulling at every nerve in her body. She thought about the life they had built together, the happy moments turned sour by deceit. The photograph flashed in her mind. This was it. This was the moment where truth hung in the balance. "After the incident, with the firefighters, I was given a second chance," Jake continued. "Not just at work, but in my life. And in my stupidity and weakness, I ruined it." His gaze fell to the floor. "I didn't want to tell you. I thought I could bury what I did. I thought maybe it would just go away." His voice broke, vulnerability spilling into the room like a wave. Anna could see the pain etched on his face. But did it matter? Trust was already broken. The community, once a safe harbor, felt like a sea of staring eyes. They were witnessing something raw and painful. "I fell for someone else," Jake admitted, his voice barely a whisper. "But it was never about love. It was reckless, a horrible mistake during a time when I wasn't thinking straight. I was scared that everything would crumble around me. But Anna, I swear to you, it meant nothing." Anguish tore through Anna at his words. Could she believe him? Hadn't she been there through every challenge? The late nights, the stress, yet here he was fumbling in front of people who had always supported her. Nothing felt clear. "After that night, I tried to make it right, but I know it was too late," Jake said, desperation cutting through his tone. "I see you struggling under the weight of my mistakes, and I hate myself for it. I need you to know that I'm committed and I'll do anything to make it right." The words hung in the air, heavy and suffocating. A devastating storm brewed inside Anna, rage and sadness colliding with a glimmer of hope. What did making it right mean? Could she forgive, or was he simply trying to keep himself afloat? The audience murmured, everyone leaning in, caught in the web of the unfolding drama. It felt personal, yet oddly collective, as if Jake's story resonated with their own fears and regrets. "Anna," he implored, stepping closer as if reaching out through an invisible barrier. "I know I don't deserve your trust. But if you give me a chance, I promise to prove it to you, to us." Tears grazed Anna's eyelids as every single face in that room stared intensely, searching for a resolution that felt so elusive. Would she choose to let him back in? Was redemption possible? As Anna opened her mouth to speak, her resolve suddenly shifted. The revelation was bigger than just them. It was about the community, the bond they shared, the collective rise from challenges faced. It was a chance for healing, not just for her but for all. Just as she began to gather her thoughts, another voice rang out, a woman from the back, her face painted with empathy and concern. "Anna, don't forget, you deserve happiness too." That simple statement sent a jolt through Anna as she grappled with her emotions. Was she willing to place her heart in the hands of a man who had shattered it? The crowd was silent again, the weight of the moment pressing in. What would she choose? The path ahead loomed uncertain, filled with potential for either destruction or healing. Anna felt ready to assert herself in the face of everything that had come crashing down. Would this be the end or the beginning of a new chapter for them? As she took a deep breath, the microphone trembled slightly in her grasp. "Jake," she finally started, the tension snapping like a taut string, ready to unravel in ways no one could expect. Jake, the sound of his name hung in the air, quivering with a mixture of anxiety and determination. Anna felt her heart race, the warmth of the crowd pressing into her back. Would this moment of vulnerability lead to a breakthrough or further heartache? The weight of her decision loomed overhead, thick like the humidity before a storm. "I need to know something." Her voice, although shaky, carried a firmness that surprised her. "You say it meant nothing, but how do I know that wasn't just a lie to cover yourself?" The question felt like a spark, igniting an already tense atmosphere. She searched his face for answers, hoping to find a flicker of sincerity amid the chaos. Jake's eyes softened, glistening with unshed tears. "Because I've spent every day trying to be better. I see what I did. I see how I shattered our lives, and it kills me." He stepped forward again, his hands trembling as he lifted them, reaching toward her, desperately trying to bridge the gap between them. "I want to make things right, not just for us, but for everyone I've hurt, especially you." The crowd breathed as one, a collective gasp of solidarity mingling with the palpable tension. Anna felt her chest tighten. Could she give him another chance? What if he truly had changed? Each thought collided with her memories, pieces of their life together flashing through her mind like a montage. Laughter, whispered secrets, shared dreams now tainted by betrayal. "I felt alone, like I didn't matter," she whispered, the words spilling out before she could catch them. "You were my best friend, Jake. We were supposed to face everything together." Pain rippled through her as she recalled the nights where she felt his absence, the silence at the dinner table where warmth used to live. "I was selfish, blinded by my fears," Jake's voice cracked, filled with raw emotion. "But I realize now that my choices hurt you the most. I want to rebuild that trust, brick by brick. I'll fight for you, for us, no matter how long it takes. Just say you'll try." The sincerity in his words crashed into her resolve, threatening to break through the walls she had built. The ache of doubt still lingered, but it collided with the faintest possibility of hope. The woman's words echoed in her mind. "You deserve happiness too." As if sensing her inner war, Jake took a step closer, the desperation in his brown eyes deepening. "Please, hun. I'm not asking for your forgiveness right now. Just consider the possibility of a future without this weight. We can be a better us." Anna closed her eyes, breath hitching, letting the tide of his words wash over her. Trust built over years couldn't just vanish, could it? It felt as if the crowd held its breath, waiting for her answer, waiting to see if love could indeed conquer the deepest fractures. "Jake," she finally said, fighting to find the words that could encapsulate her pain, her anger, her hope. "I want to believe you. But honesty has to start now. No more secrets, no more lies." "I promise," he said, his voice steady, determination shining through the cracks of his heartbreak. I'll show you every single day that I mean it. The crowd started to settle down, but the weight of her next words hung heavily in her chest. She had to make a choice, not just for Jake, but for herself too. Could she step down that path towards healing? Just then, a commotion arose from the back of the room. Another figure emerged, someone she never expected to see. A familiar face with a fire-lit intensity, standing there like a ghost from her past, and Anna's heart dropped at the sight. Anna. The voice rang out, filled with urgency and a hint of something darker. You need to hear this. Caught between the past and an uncertain future, Anna felt the pull of fate tightening around her. What more would be revealed tonight? Anna's breath caught in her throat as she turned to face the newcomer. The room swelled with an uncertain energy. Whispers flickered through the crowd like wildfire. Faces turned toward the voice, curiosity sparking a wave of anticipation. Alex? Anna's heart raced. The mention of his name splintered her focus. What could he possibly want? I'm here for you, Anna, he said, stepping forward, the intensity of his gaze locking onto hers. The way he stood, tall and commanding, seemed to draw the very air in the room to him. There is something you need to understand about what happened. It's bigger than just you and Jake. Jake's expression darkened, confusion flashing across his face. What are you talking about? He stepped protectively in front of Anna, his body tense. You have no right to come here and disrupt this. But Anna felt rooted to the spot, torn between the two men in her life, the past and the present, the hurt and the hope. Everyone waited, breaths held tight, eager for answers. Jake, Alex replied sharply, his voice sharp as a knife, this is not just about you anymore. This is about betrayal and secrets that go beyond what you even knew. Jake's hands clenched into fists, a mixture of anger and fear battling in his chest. Anna, you don't need to listen to him. We were trying to work through this. Don't let him drag you back. But Alex didn't budge. His presence commanded attention. Anna could feel the weight of his words as they danced in her mind, igniting each of her unresolved questions. What had he uncovered? What kind of truth was he holding? I know about the firefighters, Anna. Alex's voice sliced through the tension. How they were involved in the know. Jake shouted, but the crowd buzzed with curiosity, murmuring among themselves like a swarm of bees. Anna's heart thundered in her chest. What do you mean? What firefighters? Her voice was barely a whisper, but the reality of the word ricocheted in her mind, launching her into a whirlwind of possibilities. I discovered that when everything fell apart last summer, it wasn't just you. There were others involved. I didn't understand it at first, but it makes sense now. You need to hear the truth. Anna felt a whirlwind of emotions swirling. The betrayal, the pain, the uncertainty. Did Jake know? Had he hidden more than she realized? The sharp edge of doubt gnawed at her. Stop it, Alex. You're not helping. Jake's frustration escalated, his voice rising above the murmurs around them. You're just dragging more dirt into this. Maybe the dirt needs to be exposed. Alex shot back, his passion igniting the room. If you want to rebuild, Anna, then you must know the full story. The crowd shifted, working like a pendulum, moving from concern to excitement. Anna could sense anticipation, like a coiled spring ready to snap. This was about more than just her, about more than just accepting a heartfelt apology from Jake. She realized they were all teetering on the edge of something monumental. Jake's voice softened, desperation lacing his tone. Please. I need you to trust me. We can figure this out. Don't listen to him. She looked back and forth between the two of them. Jake's pleading eyes sought her trust, but Alex's expression held a promise of revelation, of understanding the depths of her heartache. Are you saying you know what he means? She asked Alex, shaking with uncertainty. What else hasn't he been told? With the entire room hanging on her words, the silence stretched, thickening the air. Each moment felt like a heartbeat. What more was there? What truth would come to light if she dared to confront it? As Alex moved closer, determination etched on his face, Anna felt the weight of fate pressing down. A choice lied ahead, one that could shatter everything she thought she knew. "Tell me," she whispered, her voice trembling. "Tell me everything." But as she leaned in, the air shifted once more, and the doors burst open with a loud bang, drawing everyone's eyes toward the entrance as another unexpected figure stepped into the fray. "Enough." The voice boomed, commanding like thunder. "I have something to say." Panic surged through Anna as she realized the night wasn't over yet. What would this new arrival bring to a moment already brimming with fire? The crowd parted slightly, eyes wide with surprise as they turned to the doorway. A tall figure stepped in, draped in the shadows of the evening light. Anna squinted, struggling to recognize the face that was quickly becoming familiar in a way she least expected. "Laura!" Jake exclaimed, disbelief mingling with surprise. "What are you doing here?" Laura, a woman heavily involved with the local community and someone who rarely missed a social gathering, stood confidently, her expression serious and resolute. "I'm here to set the record straight," she declared, steadying her gaze on Anna and Alex. "What do you mean?" Anna felt the room's tension shift yet again, squeezing her heart. It was as if echoes of a distant storm were approaching, threatening to drown them in its turmoil. "I know what you're all talking about, the firefighters, the betrayal. It's time you heard the whole truth." Laura's voice was calm but had an urgency that set off alarms in Anna's mind. Jake stepped toward her. "You don't have to do this. We can figure it out ourselves." "No, Jake, you can't keep your head in the sand anymore." Laura waved him off, her eyes locking onto Anna's, pleading for understanding. "You deserve to know. All of you do. What is going on?" Anna's voice cracked slightly. "What about the firefighters?" Laura took a deep breath, gathering strength. "I was there that night, the night everything changed. I saw things you wouldn't believe." The air grew dense around them, filled with volatile secrets and unmasked fears. Anna felt a chill creeping up her spine. Everything Laura was about to say felt crucial, like the final puzzle piece that could either heal her suffering or tear it apart even further. "I saw what happened, and I know what was said," Laura continued, her voice dropping to a whisper that felt heavy with foreboding. "The firefighters were involved in the accident, and not in the way you think." A wave of confusion crashed over Anna. "Involved how?" She pressed, her mind racing with possibilities, each more horrific than the last. "Not just responding to the emergency," Laura clarified, her brow furrowing with intensity. "They made decisions that night, choices that changed everything for so many people. They were hiding something, all of them." Jake stepped back, processing Laura's words. "You can't just throw around accusations without proof. This is too much." "Too much?" Laura shook her head. "What's too much is what you've all chosen not to confront. Anna needs to know the entire truth, not just the bits that suit you." Anna felt the world spinning around her. This was bigger than petty grievances or months of unresolved feelings. It was tangled in lives lost, friendships fractured, and truth buried deep under layers of denial. "Laura, please," Anna urged, her voice trembling and raw. "Just tell me what you know." Laura took a step closer, her voice dropping to a deliberate hush. "It's going to affect everything. If this comes to light, there's no going back, but you need to be prepared for the fallout. Are you really ready for the truth, Anna?" With everyone watching, Anna felt her heart race again, a mix of fear and fierce determination surging through her. As the seconds ticked by painfully slow, she knew that uncovering the past could be her only chance at a future free of secrets. "Tell me," Anna whispered, locking eyes with Laura. "I need to know everything." As tension hung heavy in the air, a low rumble of thunder echoed outside, as if the heavens themselves were bracing for the storm. Just then, the room's lights flickered, plunging them into darkness for a brief moment. Anna gasped, feeling as if time itself had paused. What secrets lay hidden in the shadows? What was about to unfold that could change everything? "Let us do this," Laura finally said, a hint of resolve breaking through the chaos. But you need to brace yourself for what comes next. Anna clenched her fists, heart pounding. Was she truly ready to face the revelations that lay ahead? The air was thick as silence washed over the room, swallowing any words that might have followed. Anna's heart pounded like a drum, echoing the chaos that swirled in the shadows of her mind. What could Laura possibly say that would make sense of everything? Okay. Laura began, her voice low but strong, cutting through the silence like a knife. I was volunteering for the fundraiser that night. You all remember the gala for the fire station? Nods went around the room, but Anna couldn't shake the gnawing worry in her gut. I saw Jake's brother, Ben, at the bar. He was acting strange, more so than usual with the stress of things. He kept looking out the window, like he was waiting for something. Laura's gaze flickered toward Jake. I didn't think much of it until later. What does this have to do with the accident? Jake shot back, arms folded tightly across his chest. Laura continued, undeterred. Ben got a call. I overheard him talking, and although the details are shaky, I'm certain it had to do with an emergency. He rushed out of there, but not alone. Some of the other firefighters followed him. People shifted uncomfortably, exchanging glances. Anna felt a tear threaten to spill over, a small betrayal in a sea of chaos. So, they were following their duty. Duty? Laura interrupted, her voice rising. Anna, you don't understand. They didn't just respond. They made a choice. Instead of waiting for the backup they needed, they decided to handle the situation on their own. What situation? Anna pressed, feeling fueled by a desperate urge for clarity. Laura hesitated, and Anna could see the weight of her next words. There was something they were hiding. Their reason the call wasn't relayed properly. Something wasn't right with the equipment at the scene. They were under pressure to cover for each other, and they panicked. Anna's heart felt as if it had cracked open, spilling out her fears. So you're saying they were at fault? They could have saved those lives and didn't? The room went silent again, suffocating. Her mind raced faces of people she knew, futures lost, all wrapped up in the web of decisions made in moments of stress and fear. Yes, Laura finally said, the flash of anger replaced by a softness. And I'm so sorry, Anna. I thought you deserved to know that the betrayal isn't just one-sided. It's a web of friends choosing loyalty over justice. The revelation struck Anna like a slap across the face. How could they choose each other over those who were lost that night? Anger bubbled up inside her. She wanted to scream at their betrayal, at the choices they made that altered the course of so many lives. Alex, who had been silent until now, stepped forward. So what do we do now? Sit in this room and stew in our anger? We need to take action. Anna felt torn. She needed to honor the truth, but at what cost? Exposing their friends would shatter their community. Yet living in ignorance felt like a betrayal to those who couldn't tell their own stories. I don't know, Anna admitted, her voice breaking. Just before she could finish, thunder roared outside, shaking the windows, reinforcing the tempest gathering within her heart. Shall we let this go? Laura asked, her tone cautious, searching the eyes of everyone in the room. Or will we dig deeper? A part of Anna longed for release, for clarity. But was she ready to face the fallout? As the clouds rumbled ominously overhead, Anna took a deep breath, steadied herself, and whispered, "Let us find out the truth." But I don't know how much more I can take. And with those words, the air buzzed with an unsettling energy, one that promised to unveil secrets but left open the question, what truths were lurking beneath the surface just waiting to be exposed? Anna's heart raced as Laura's question hung heavy in the air. The storm rumbled outside, a fitting backdrop to the swirling chaos inside her mind. Her chest tightened with fear and resolve, and she knew they had to act, but the shadows of doubt clouded her judgment. What does digging deeper even mean? She finally asked, her voice trembling slightly. Jake's features twisted, frustration painting his expression. We can't just accuse them without proof. Anna interrupted, feeling the flames of her anger rise again. What proof do we need when they already made a choice that cost lives? We might be too late for some, but we owe it to the others to find out what really happened. The room erupted into murmurs, voices rising and falling like the rhythm of the storm outside. Alex's intensity pierced through the noise. We need a plan. Something concrete. If they did something wrong, we can't just sit here and pretend it didn't happen. We owe it to the victims. Anna's thoughts raced. In that moment, surrounded by her friends, she knew that her heart wasn't just heavy with loss, it was filled with a fierce need for justice. We need to talk to Ben, she said decisively, the weight of the decision grounding her. If he left that night before the accident, he might know something. We can confront him. Confront him? Are you sure that's a good idea? Laura countered, worry flickering in her eyes. He's still Jake's brother, after all. Anna turned to Jake, searching for support. If it were your brother, wouldn't you want to know the truth? If he knew something or if he was too scared to speak up, don't you think we deserve to find out? Jake hesitated, the tension in his jaw tightening as his internal struggle played across his face. Finally, he nodded, albeit reluctantly. Fine, but we should be careful. This could get ugly. A collective gulp passed through the group. They were standing on the edge of something unpredictable, a precipice looking down into chaos. Yet, something ignited within them all, a shared determination that overshadowed their fear. Let us meet Ben tomorrow, Anna suggested, her voice stronger now. We can gather as much information as we can without alarming him. We need to understand everything before making a move. Alex stepped closer, the fire in his eyes reflecting her own urgency. And if he's hiding something? We have to be ready to deal with that. He might not just come clean. Then we'll have to decide how far we're willing to go to uncover the truth, Laura added quietly, uncertainty lacing her tone. We're not just exposing secrets, we're risking friendships and our whole community. Anna nodded solemnly, the weight of it all threatened to crush her. But if we don't do this for them, for everyone we've lost, we're complicit in their silence. And I can't bear that. As the room fell quiet again, the thunder rolled once more, echoing their fears and determination. Now we rest and prepare, Jake finally said, his voice steadying the group. No matter what happens tomorrow, we need to stand united. With that, Anna felt a flicker of hope blossom amidst the uncertainty. They were fighting for more than just truth now, they were fighting for the voices that could no longer speak, for those who needed them to act. They began to disperse. A thought lingered in the back of Anna's mind. What if Ben really was hiding something, and she wasn't prepared to hear it? With every step she took toward the door, the gravity of what lay ahead settled deeper in her bones. Tomorrow would bring clarity or chaos, and she couldn't shake the feeling that they were hurtling toward a reckoning. Are we ready for what we might uncover? She whispered to herself, a shiver running down her spine, as the storm raged on outside. But before she could answer, an unexpected crash of lightning illuminated the night, leaving her heart pounding with a mix of fear and anticipation for what was to come. The morning came drenched in uncertainty, the storm having passed but leaving a lingering chill in the air. Anna felt the weight of the night's decisions as she stood in front of the mirror, attempting to piece herself together. Her reflection stared back, a mix of determination and anxiety playing across her features. Today would change everything, she could feel it in her bones. Jake arrived first, his face drawn tight with concern. You ready? He asked, his voice steady but filled with unspoken tension. Not really, Anna admitted, glancing down at her hands, fidgeting with her sleeves. But I can't back down now. Alex walked in next, his steps purposeful. Whatever happens, remember why we're doing this. It's about the truth. They exchanged nods, the kind that carried a solemn pact between them. As they walked out, Anna's heart raced, the raw emotion of the past few weeks swirling around her. They decided to meet at a small library, where Ben often spent time, tucked away in the dusty corners with a book. The familiar feeling of dread settled in Anna's stomach as they approached the building, a mix of hope and fear that twisted like vines around her heart. Inside, the scent of old paper and wood filled the air, and the faint sound of pages turning created an oddly comforting backdrop. But Anna felt anything but comforted. She led the charge, her heart beating loud against her chest. They found Ben at a table, absorbed in a novel, oblivious to their presence. Anna hesitated, taking a moment to observe him. Ben didn't look like someone carrying a heavy secret, but her gut told her otherwise. "Hey, Ben," she called, forcing a smile that felt unnatural. He looked up, surprised, and instinctively straightened in his chair. "Anna. Jake. Alex. What are you guys doing here?" His tone was casual, but a flicker of nervousness crossed his eyes. "Actually, we need to talk," Anna said, her voice steadying as she moved closer. "It's important." The moment hung in the air, a charged silence filled with unspoken truths. Ben opened his mouth to speak but paused, sensing the gravity of the situation. "Okay. What's this about?" he asked, tilting his head slightly, uncertainty dancing across his features. Anna cleared her throat, trying to push past her fear. "You know about the accident, right? The one that changed so many lives?" Ben's expression shifted, the colorful spark of curiosity replaced by a fading light as reality sunk in. "Yeah, I know. And you left that night before," Anna pressed, her voice lower now. "Do you remember anything? Anything that could help us understand what happened?" The heaviness of her words seemed to hang near the ceiling, and she watched as Ben's gaze dropped to the table, his fingers tracing the edge of the book as if it held an answer. I don't know what you're asking me," he stammered, but his voice trembled. Jake's frustration broke through. "We're asking if you saw anything. If you knew anything. This isn't just about you or us. This is about those who didn't make it back. Their families need answers." Ben's eyes darted around, panic creeping into his voice. "I didn't think it would come to this." "What does that mean?" Anna leaned in, her heart pounding. "You have to tell us. We deserve to know the truth, and so do you." The tension was palpable, a silent hand gripping all of them. For a split second, Anna saw the lightning flash of guilt in Ben's eyes. He shook his head, anguish twisting his features, and whispered, "You might not want to know what I have to say." Anna's stomach dropped. Those words hung there, heavy and foreboding. What did he know? What was she not prepared to hear? As Ben shifted in his seat, she braced herself for the truth, grappling with the notion that sometimes, the truth could bring more pain than expected. The air felt electric, a storm ready to break anew. Would Ben reveal something that would shatter their lives all over again? Anna held her breath, ready to hear the absolute truth, or perhaps, something beyond her worst fears. Ben's eyes blazed with conflict, and Anna could see the wheels turning in his mind. "Listen, you don't understand the pressure we were under that night," he said, his voice quaking as he struggled to find the right words. The library felt overwhelmingly quiet, heavy with tension as if the walls themselves were conspiring to contain the truth. "Pressure? What does that mean?" Anna pressed, a mixture of dread and determination urging her on. "You owe us that much at least." Jake's face was a storm of anger and anxiety, urging Ben to speak before he lost his nerve. Ben opened his mouth, then shut it again, his expression twisting in emotional turmoil. We knew that things weren't right with the equipment at the station. It was unstable. But we were scared. Scared of losing our jobs, our community's trust. So we didn't inform you guys." Anna felt her heart drop. "So you knew something was wrong and didn't say anything?" The realization hit her like a punch to the gut. It was one thing to be involved, it was another entirely to see their negligence laid bare. Ben nodded, tears glistening in his eyes. "I was complicit. I thought if we just got through that evening, everything would go back to normal. But I can't excuse what we did. This was bigger, Anna. Everything went wrong, so wrong." No, Jake muttered, running a hand through his hair in frustration. "You could have saved them." The anger bubbled in Anna's chest, burning bright and fierce. "Do you think we're just going to let this slide?" She shook her head, fury coursing through her veins. You've hurt more than just those families. We trusted you, our community trusted you. Ben's face twisted with regret, 1,000 regrets swirling in his eyes. I didn't think it would explode like this. It was a moment of panic. We thought if we kept our heads down, we could somehow fix it, manage it. You thought you could protect each other, but at the cost of lives. The words flew from Anna's lips before she could catch them, frustration spilling over as she felt the weight of every family affected by their choices. Every laugh turned to grief in the aftermath of that night. The silence that enveloped them was thick, the weight of unspoken truths rustling like leaves in the heavy air. The gravity of what Ben revealed cast an ominous shadow across Anna's heart. Healing wouldn't come easy, it came with price tags made of trust and sacrifice. But deep down, she knew that they couldn't remain complicit in the silence that surrounded them. Unveiling the truth meant a chance, no matter how painful, for change. Ben's voice trembled, filled with desperation. I've heard stories of the families. They deserve closure. He stammered, his voice breaking. I can't ask for your forgiveness. But I'll do anything to help them find answers. And we can't just drop it, Alex said, his voice steady but resilient. We need to gather evidence, we need to face these truths head on. Ben's eyes widened. You can't expose them. They're my friends, my brothers. What they did is unforgivable if they don't take responsibility. Anna shot back, her own heart thumping harder against her ribs. Stepping back, forcing herself to breathe, Anna felt clarity wash over her like the last rays of sun piercing through breathing clouds. All right. I'll organize a town meeting. We can hold everyone accountable, not to point fingers, but to make sure this never happens again. Jake looked at her. Are you sure you want to do this? His voice held an edge of worry. I'm doing this for the victims, for our community, she said firmly, feeling a flicker of strength light her resolve. We owe them that. This is bigger than us now. Ben nodded through tears, the weight of shame falling from his shoulders. I'll help. If it means bringing justice for them, I'll do whatever it takes. As they regrouped, the storm of uncertainty transformed into raw determination within Anna. They had to face not just the past but also what lay ahead, a future built on truth and hope, free from shadows and doubt. Walking out of the library, the morning sun broke through the clouds, the dawn of a new beginning. The air felt lighter, almost electric. Amidst the turmoil, Anna saw a glimpse of possibility, a chance to clean the slate and restore her open heart to all the warmth it had once held. Her hand tightened around the door handle as if she could grab onto the fresh promise of tomorrow. For once, everything felt like it might be okay. They might be starting from ashes, but ashes could nurture new growth. Stepping into the world outside, Anna took a deep breath. Let us do it, she said, her voice clear and firm. For them. With purpose coursing through her veins, Anna turned back to her friends. They were ready to fight, to uncover the truth together. The path would be rocky, twists and turns waiting with bated breath. But Anna felt at peace, the storm inside her had finally calmed. Now was the moment of action, and now, you need to subscribe immediately to the channel so you don't miss the next exclusive stories. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and help us spread the love and truth. Tell us your reactions and feelings about this ending in the comments. Share this video instantly with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. Don't wait not even one more second to support the channel. Your true fandom makes a difference.